Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Gemini. So, Gemini, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So, Gemini, you have a very simple reading today, and it feels like a very minor correction. Yes, correction in your course, in your path. Which feels like it's going to be a lot more fulfilling than sad, or it's like you're going to feel much better afterwards. It's not going to be something that is going to make you feel like you're wasting your time by going back and correcting something. Well, we are still in Mercury retrograde, so it's very appropriate for that until mid-May 2023, if you're watching this as I'm recording it. But there's something that is very clear to you, that there needs to be this cleansing. There needs to be this, it's actually coming through more so in a practical way as organization. It's like personal organization. So perhaps we're talking about decluttering, but it's not necessarily that. It's more so talking about concepts and values, and it's like financial type of concepts, right? Maybe we're talking about really setting up like what is the name of that thing? A spreadsheet, right? Where you plan every spending that you have, every money that you earn, everything that comes in and out. Just to find a common ground, right? That is important here in your reading. That's where you're going to find clarity, direction, but also fulfillment. So we're beginning with the Ace of Swords. So here is the clarity, but actually what I heard with this card for you today, Gemini, was let's clear the air. So there's an aspect of this that talks about letting the dust settle, or letting, it's like take a moment to properly think about this. So it's not something that I feel like it's going to be quick. It's not supposed to be quick. It's meant to bring clarity. So it's like allowing all of this debris, all of the thoughts, all of the it's like all of the factors of this equation, they need to be settled. They need to come to a common ground, and I'm going to show you the card that is representing that. But the clarity is here. It's like it's attainable. It's something that you know that you can find, but you need to go in that direction. It needs to be something that is proactive. It's not something that is going to come to you. It's like it's you that is going to go to it. It's like it's you taking those practical steps, because you're showing up here as this King of Pentacles. And I was really unsure until the very last card, actually, whether or not this was you, because this is actually, if you look at the thumbnail, they're only minor arcana, and that's the reason why also I'm talking about this minor adjustment, minor course correction. So it's not something that is big or major or incredibly life-changing, but it is something that is going to bring you fulfillment, but also like this personal sense of organization, right? So yeah, I was still unsure about whether or not this was you, Gemini, but seeing now the rest of the cards, and at least this first part here, it's very clear to me that you are this King of Pentacles wanting to think about something that is going to be, again, practically attainable, but it's like it's going to be clear in your mind about something that is very tangible. And that's the reason why I'm emphasizing the fact that is either like organizing your physical space, your room, your clothes, your wardrobe, your papers, your documents, your finances, because the first row is all pentacle cards, and there are 4 pentacle cards here. I was just trying to make this math quick. So you are showing up here as this King of Pentacles very abundantly, I want to say, dealing with the fruits of your labor, the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is coming through like this long road, perhaps of hard work and hours dedicated to you, working a lot, but also knowing that it would be all worth it. And it's interesting also, I want to emphasize the fact that here in your first part, because we have also another nine, being the Nine of Cups that is coming in a minute, it's emphasizing your path, your solo path. It's not something that you have necessarily been part of a larger group or a larger company or a larger institution. It feels something very private and personal, and it's like maybe you have become an entrepreneur, or like you know what I mean, right? Working for yourself, or at least, everything that you have been working for, it's been for your own safety. It's been for your own, it's like you taking care of yourself. But here you are as this King of Pentacles, looking at all of the fruits of your labor, right? With the Nine of Pentacles. And here you have like it's like, I was trying to sense whether or not this would be an overwhelming part of dealing with a lot. It's almost like while you were working, you didn't realize how much you gathered, how much you've grown, how much you have matured, or, how much you have accumulated. If we're talking about goods and things and money or anything like that, or even experience, professional experience, clients perhaps, or projects under your belt. It's like now you have earned the title to be the King of Pentacles. So this wasn't clear, I want to say. It's only when you look at it all together, right? It needs to be put all together. And this is why I feel like this dust needs to settle, because it's like that's where you're going to have like this, maybe like this higher perspective and a clear direction about how to organize this. So the common ground that I was talking about is coming here with this Four of Pentacles. This card to me is like the utmost card that symbolizes safety, stability, something that is completely anchored and settled and well-founded, right? It's like this the epitome of groundedness, the epitome of being attached to something or being rooted down. So you have the ability, you have the knowledge, you have the desire to go for clarity, although I feel like things are still settling down. You're still gathering all of the things that you have done, all of the money that you have joined or earned or received from your work, right? Whatever this Nine of Pentacles represents for you, if this is experience, it's like you have like this list of clients and projects under your belt. So you need to organize that. It's interesting because this is coming through as putting inside boxes. So it's literally organizing stuff, right? It's like if these things are all in one pile, it's like separate them, because they're going to give you a lot more. It's like they're going to ease your mind, but they're going to give you clarity about the real, true abundance that you do have, that perhaps this part was still unclear because everything was, it's like maybe you were too focused in your work. You were still too, immersed in the practical day-to-day job. But once you look at all of those things together, it's like put them all on the ground, right? Lay them all on the floor, and then start separating them, categorizing them, analyzing them, and putting them into boxes, because that's what it's going to bring you clarity, but also the sense of organization, right? It's like just feeling like things are a lot more clear because they are in their proper place. I hope that makes sense. So here, this organization is not just giving you this clarity that you're seeking, Gemini, but with the Nine of Cups that I mentioned, that is coming after this Four of Pentacles, talks about how you're going to be able to recognize your value and love yourself for everything that you had to sacrifice. It's wanting to come with the word sacrifice. Because I feel like it's not, the nines and the tens, to me, they talk about a long journey, right? The nines talk about the individual path, whereas the tens talk about the shared path. Here we have two nines, so emphasizing the fact that this has been your long journey and nobody else's long journey, right? This is something that is very particular to you. Only you know everything that perhaps you had to sacrifice, that you had to work on and, put long hours into to have accumulated all of this. But now that you see everything, it's like it has a new meaning, right? It's like it's like once you categorize everything and you put them into boxes, it's like your mind becomes a lot clearer because you have a lot more objectivity, I want to say, to perceive the true value that now you have, or now that you are. It's like you see why now you deserve this crown of the king, right? It's like the highest position. It's like maybe this is like this self-recognition that you have truly matured, that you have truly become independent, but not only physically, but it's when you truly value the physical, practical things that you become like a lot more emotionally independent as well. So that is the true maturity that comes. It's like that's when you it's almost like you have earned a lot, right? Maybe a lot of experience, a lot of money, a lot of work, or whatever is coming through here. But the last piece, or it's like this grand finale, right? For this thing. And it's like it's wanting to come as a grand finale, but it's wanting to also emphasize the fact that it's a minor thing, right? So it's like a grand finale for something that perhaps was giving you this lack of clarity or this lack of direction. So it's something that comes to crown this situation, right? But the crown comes from you. It's like you place it on top of your head. It's like the moment that you see the true value of your sacrifices, of your work, of everything that you had to put in to be in this place right now, it's like you have worked for this. You have earned it. So because you have earned it, you feel better. It's like this doesn't come as some burden or some sort of sacrifice that you regret, right? There's no regret here. It's like, but it's important that, because in between, right, the two nines, there is this Four of Pentacles. So in order for things to settle down, at least in your mind, and I want to say physically as well, in order for you to experience like this emotional fulfillment, it's like you have to have your place organized, your mind organized, but also maybe your finances organized, your physical space organized, your wardrobe, your whatever, your files, whatever physical element that is coming through the pentacles for you. So organize your stuff, organize your finances, organize your work, and then you'll realize how much of value you hold. It's interesting because I was questioning whether this word was appropriate. It's like, it's not that you hold only this value, but it's like you have earned this value. So value yourself for the things that you did sacrifice, because they are proving that they were all worth it, right? Because now you feel this fulfillment, this emotional independence that comes from you settling down and feeling that you have created an independent life, right? Both physically, materially, and emotionally. So here, this is where it gets interesting again, because it's guidance. It's almost like now that this is settled, now that this is organized, now that your finances are all settled and organized and, you know, they're good to go, it's like it's time to get back to work with the Eight of Pentacles. So it's not because you have found a good place for yourself, or you have built a good place for yourself, or you have realized that you actually achieved your own independence, that you're going to stop working, right? It's like that's the reason why also wanting to go back to this image of the dust settling down and coming to the ground, to find a common ground, right? Everything needs to be laid on the ground so that it finds a common ground, and everything that it's the same subject or the same content or the same whatever, right? The similarities among these things, it's like they group together in boxes, right? Or in categories. So the dust coming down and settling down is something that is going to bring you peace of mind, but it's also something that provides you like this moment, that I want to say like a momentary break, right? A momentary break that is, it's going to speed up things, because in a sense, it's like this course correction that it's like you were lacking direction, perhaps in regards to your work. So you need to do this first to get back to your work. So again, the course correction, right? I know that I started talking about it, but it came only with the last card with this Six of Cups, because it was talking about something that you should have done a while ago and you didn't. So it's almost like you were postponing, or maybe you thought that you were too busy working that you couldn't stop for a minute or an hour or a day to do this organization, to do this process of sifting everything and organizing stuff. But it is important so that you have clarity. But more than just clarity, again, it wants to emphasize the word direction, right? To get back to work with direction, so that this course correction is not something that is pending, right? It's like that, you know, those types of to-do lists that, you know, they're always like items that are always there, that are always unchecked, because it's like, you know, it's not priority. It's interesting because there was something also about priority, and not, maybe that was the unclear part, right? It's like you didn't know what to prioritize, but it's only when things are laid on the ground that you're able to prioritize them, because you're putting them in categories, because you have the maturity, because you can see everything from above, because you have earned this capacity, right? Is an ability that you have matured, and now you know how to handle everything, even though it can be a lot. But the moment that you divide them, or that you separate things into special piles, right? Or common ground piles, right? With the Four of Pentacles, it's like it's going to be a lot more fulfilling, because to you, it's not just the satisfaction of knowing that you needed to prioritize this perhaps a while back and you didn't, but it's the satisfaction that now you can finally get back to work, right? Because again, it's like this minor thing that was like this splinter in your mind that was giving you this this unclarity, right? It's like you didn't have clear direction. So now that this thing is done, it's like now you can proceed forward, right? Now you can get back to work. It's like knowing that there's nothing open, or there's nothing still to do, right? There's nothing unchecked still hanging there in your to-do list, right? So it's pretty clear to me, but I am going to pull more cards for you, Gemini. Also, I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.